now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. Welcome, you guys, to the Good Bad Advice Podcast. I'm your host, Chase.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we are so excited. We are in our second week. Ah! We're 2 episodes down. The reception, we're on our third.
This is third.
Yes. And we're so thankful at the reception.
Yeah, you guys are so nice and lovely. We have such an awesome community of friends and family that, we're texting us, "You're so funny." We're like, "We know."
we're like, "Thank you so much. Tell everybody you know."
Thank you so much. Don't send it back to me. Send it to your friends.
But sending it to us, we also appreciate.
Yes. Send me the fanfare. Tell me how funny we are.
Yeah, the reception was overwhelming.
Yes.
We are so thankful. We are definitely developing a God complex now.
Developing? That was...
Yeah. It's now we're unearthing what was always kind of percolating.
A level of God complex to start a podcast.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To think that, people want to listen to you talk for an hour a week.
Yeah.
You already start with a minimum level.
Well, it's so funny. It's like walking into a room and everybody's chatting. So it's just a lot of noise because that's how many podcasts are out there. And we're like, you know what this room needs? Me. And we just enter the chat and we're just adding our own voice, a little song and dance, a little side shuffle. And everyone else is like, are they okay?
Yeah, we've been doing podcasts.
We're like, yeah, but not us.
Yeah, but not like this. Not with a girl and a gay.
Our secret weapon.
So many podcasts have that format.
Literally,
we're like maybe
the straight
the 80th.
girl and the gay. It's just like an old trope. It is like the oldest podcast trope.
But we're the best one.
Yes, so tell everybody. But we are really so thankful. And we were talking about this yesterday when we went to dinner for my birthday.
Yes.
We were talking about how this is just so fun for us because we get to hang out with each other now every single week. It's a guaranteed hangout for an hour and a half or so as we set up and then do the show and then talk about it.
Yeah, we get to do our favorite thing that we usually did when we had the time. Which is talk smack for an hour about celebrities.
One time we were driving home from an event that your husband was putting on, and we were talking about Pitch Perfect 2.
Yes.
And we were talking about the "Do They Will Not
the Germans
Control Us." I'm sorry, was that amazing?
Excuse you?
Sorry, is anyone... Me. Is anyone listening to this early? I guess they're going to get it.
I honestly was stunned by how good that was.
Thank you. Okay, so we were driving home and we were laughing so hard at us reenacting the German performance on Pitch Perfect 2.
We had the idea that it was just going to be us two doing this full Pitch Perfect group performance in just a full black turtleneck. Imagine the way that your cousins put on talent shows in the living room.
100%.
But it's me and Chase as fully grown adults being like, come.
And
And then we just
at a car show.
The way that we were laughing so hard, and my stepdaughter Bailey was in the backseat just
stone-faced, did not care. She was so embarrassed for us.
At all.
And we laughed so
crying.
unbelievably hard. And that's when we were like, we are really funny.
We are really funny.
We run the risk of only thinking that about ourselves. but
we will be our number one listeners.
But we will be our number one fans. And we're just glad that we get to hang out with each other. And as we navigate heavy things each week, this is kind of like our little pick-me-up, our little hangout sesh.
Speaking of our great friendship, we did go to dinner for your birthday, but we need to talk about your birthday weekend.
An amazing weekend. I have a twin sister. Her husband, my parents, and my partner and I went down to Vegas. We went down for the Ed Sheeran concert. Little disappointing. Obviously, the concert got canceled about an hour before he was supposed to go on.
But
super lame, but not as lame for us because we did not make it to the venue yet. We were still at dinner.
Oh, thank goodness.
And so
it was hot.
It was so hot. It was 103. People were passing out. Ambulances were called.
And you're just at dinner being like,
we're like,
shame.
Wow, this really stinks.
But we are in Vegas, so we can find something else to do.
Yes. So that's what we did.
Okay.
they were like, Chase, what are we going to do? How do we save this night? And I was like, I will find us
You
something.
were the authority figure.
I
They
was the
all
authority
turned-
figure. They
were
all
like,
looked at
"Chase."
me. And there were so many shows involving stages of nudity that I was like, nope, nope, nope. And everyone else was like, we'll do it.
Why?
And I was like,
Why don't you want to? You were just with your mom and dad. It would have been great.
It would have been fine to see Thunder from Down Under and Magic Mike.
You could have just covered your mom's eyes.
Yeah, I'm like, my mom's ripping my hand down. But we ended up at Piff, the Magic Dragon. And I'd seen him on America's Got Talent. He's done a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
He's in like the dinosaur costume and magician from the UK.
Yes, he's
really,
a little
really
silly.
sarcastic and whatever. Did I live my fantasy by getting called on stage? Yeah, I did.
Did they cut you in half?
Yeah, I'm actually, this is not my legs. They are still looking for them. No, it was like a thing about my watch, and it was like obviously a sleight of hand thing, and they ended up taking my watch. And
Where did your watch end up?
Okay, so they took it and put it in a sock first. Where I got it was in a sealed peanut butter jar. At the bottom of a sealed peanut butter jar that was filled with packing peanuts that was encased in a 2-tiered Jell-O mold that was in a locked safe that was suspended above a chicken nugget. And that is the name of my memoir.
Sounds like my... See, I had another punchline, but you beat me to it. It's so good. It's so good.
And I was so dumb because when I got on stage, I act like I'm on stage all the time. When I'm on stage. When I got on stage, I was like, okay, I was like smiling, but also like, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
Because the whole show had been so bizarre thus far. And so at one point he was like, okay, use your dragon claw and claw out the Jell-O. So I had this huge thing of Jell-O, and he's like, now put it in your pocket. And I don't know why my brain stopped.
You put it in your pocket.
I full-fledged put it in my pocket. My pocket right now still has, I have to wash those shorts because it still has just Jell-O residue from me putting an actual Jell-O thing.
I can't believe you actually put it in
Neither
your pocket.
could he. He was like, no one else has ever put, he's like, I've been doing this bit for a long time and no one's ever put the Jell-O in their actual pockets.
You're like, I really respect authority figures.
Yeah. I don't do a great of a thinking for myself. That was not a good choice. And anyway, we have 3 angles of it because my mom, my sister, and Steven all recorded it.
So fun.
So we're rewatching it now to see if we could figure out where all the sleight of hands were.
You're like,
So we're gonna
pause,
figure
watching
out
it in slow
Piff.
motion.
Fully.
Well, the problem is you can't figure it out because it's actual magic.
So we're in the room, and I say to Steven afterward, we're just hanging out in my parents' hotel room, and he's like, we really need to figure out how it's done. And I was like, it was magic. And he was like, no, I want to figure out how it's done. And then I don't know, I thought it'd be so funny, but I was like, oh my God, do you mean to tell me you don't believe in magic? And my parents and Chelsea all like shoot me a look, and Steven's like so stunned because I'm flustered, and I'm like, oh, so what? You don't believe in Harry Potter?
We've literally taken our Pottermores together.
Yeah,
I know your Patronus.
I have a Patronus charm. It was so funny. Like, of all the things to decide to just die on a hill for, and I'm like,
I can just picture him being like,
yeah, he's like struggle busing just to be like, no, I promise, I do believe. I have a wand. We went to Harry Potter World.
That is amazing.
So all in all, it was a really
birthday
good weekend. Yeah, it was a really, really fun weekend. Thank you to everybody who's super kind. My assistant made me a cake. We went out to dinner. I've got dinners kind of lined up this week. I just love stretching the birthday weekend into a birthday week, into a birthday month.
Yeah.
Come October, I'll be ready to be 37 and to let the birthday celebration go. But do I have a birthday hat in my car just at any point if I need to remind people who it's about?
You just drive around with it on.
Beep boop. Just pull up next to someone. They're like, you good, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's my birthday. Actually, when I went to Dutch Bros this morning, I had my birthday free drink. So I said, it's my birthday free drink. And she's like, oh my gosh, happy birthday. And I just leaned into it. I just went with the lie. So I was like, thank you so much. She's like, what are you doing fun to celebrate your birthday today? And I was like, well, and I'm in court later today, so I had my suit in my back seat. So I was like, well, you know, and I kind of motioned in the back seat, I got court later today. She's like, oh, on your birthday? And I was like,
rats.
And she's like, oh, that's terrible. And I was like, yeah, it really is. But I'm going to dinner tonight to celebrate. Like, I made up a whole birthday plan because I had to go with this lie about it being my birthday. And then, so that was like when I ordered, and I came to the window, they're like, oh my gosh, happy birthday. How are you? Happy birthday. How old are you turning? And I was like, oh, yeah, I know. Thanks. I'm excited to celebrate today. Like, I just had to get out of there as quick as possible because I knew I was like, the lie has gotten too big.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have to like skirt out of the
well, I'm like, just grab the chies and bounce.
Thank you so much. Bye.
And how was your weekend? I know we didn't get to celebrate me together, so were you pretty sad all weekend?
We usually have a full celebration at Olive Garden. Very low-key weekend for me. I did start a new job this week. So, like, I think most of my weekend was, like, leading up to me prepping for a new job. Because I've been fun employed for a little bit.
Fun employment looks good
and
on
I
you.
was loving it, honestly. I love being fun employed. The only downside is not having, the funds to live your life. But, yeah, it was mainly just, like, prepping everything for new job. And that new job went great. We are now doing a contract role at Pura. This episode is not sponsored by Pura, but it could be.
It could be. It honestly could be sponsored by any of the products or brands we ever mention.
Yeah.
If you're a social media girly for any of them, reach out to us. Dutch Bros, we're in.
Pura, we're really good commercial voices.
Vegas, we're in.
Vegas.
This episode is sponsored by Vegas.
I don't know how to get the city of Vegas to sponsor us.
I'll make a phone call.
All right, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Well, Pura's super lucky to have you.
Thank you.
And I hear that there was a little bit of a man cold situation this weekend.
There was. Shraven, my lovely, wonderful husband, did have a man cold for a full 12 hours. And then the next day he woke up with his man cold and cleaned our entire house. So I guess I can't be that hard on him.
Oh no, he's a warrior. He's way better. He's setting the bar way too high for people with man colds.
I know.
Let's be clear. I don't know what it's like to give birth, but you have no idea what it's like to
have a man cold.
And so just Traven needs to cool it because he's making all of us look bad when we're really having man colds and we need 3 or 4 days of just pampering and feeling better.
Yeah, he was fatigued, and then during my first day of work he cleaned our entire house so I could feel supported, and I came home and was like, you're really brave, Ken. It was so nice of you.
Speaking of Barbie, I think it comes out this week to own.
Oh, thank goodness.
Which means that will be a movie I watch multiple times.
Can't wait to stream that over and
over again. Just like our TikToks.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
getting those views up.
Just like our TikToks. Go ahead and watch it on repeat. Turn your volume down and walk away.
Yes.
Just let it play.
Okay, so we've got our daily or our weekly advice.
Yeah.
Our kind of idiom or our advice trope.
Maybe we need to think of a theme song for daily advice
girl
of
math,
the week.
Girl math.
Exactly.
Girl math.
Daily advice of the week.
But you can't say daily advice of the week. But I love, it should be good bad advice of the week.
Yeah, that's better. I mean, mine sounded better. But
literally, it works better with words. We'll reach out to Steven and have him jazz it up.
That's the reason we got mics in the first place.
100%. This is just a front for our budding singing career.
Steven's training us.
Steven's like, please just stick to podcasting.
Please stop singing Defying Gravity.
Okay, but our advice of the week that we want to talk about is don't rock the boat.
Don't rock the boat, baby.
Good application of don't rock the boat.
Yeah.
At a funeral, you go in, you get the giggles, excuse yourself. Don't rock the boat. Don't be that person. Someone is offensive to you or offends you at their wedding. Don't rock the boat. Let them have their day. So just be aware of the environment. But I also love rocking a boat.
I do too.
I love just being
my nausea.
It's me, baby. Get on board and get behind. Woo woo, train.
I love, or if you're in a kayak with a person who is scared of water, please rock the boat and film it, because I love those videos.
And we're not talking about an actual kayak. We're talking about relationships.
Exactly.
If you can't steer your partner, if you don't capitalize on their fears. I love the balance. Like, obviously there's times where you shouldn't rock the boat, and like we understand that. But I also think people need a little boat rocking.
Yeah, just make people a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's just like, say one provocative thing at dinner, just to get the convo started.
Yes, provocative, not racist. It's like a fine line.
It's a fine line. Yeah. My provocative question at a dinner party is I ask parents to rate their children from favorite to least favorite.
Love asking parents who their favorite children is.
If you cannot answer that, check please.
Yeah.
And it's
like,
not
I
like
can never
written
choose.
in stone.
I can right now. Of your 2 children, I will name them.
I will help you. Hang on, I have a PowerPoint. Yeah, I'm just like, if you can't tell me at any given point that you want to punch one of your kids in the throat hole,
you're lying.
You're lying, and that's just not true. I'm not obviously condoning any sort of physical violence against children.
Obviously, we don't punch our children, but we think about it, and we wind up our fists.
And we threaten them. I love, that's my like kind of rocking the boat, and I love when they're like, oh, I could never pick, and I'm like, really? You're on a boat. Speaking of rocking one, you're on a boat, life jacket for one child.
Yeah, you're on the Titanic.
You have to survive, because you can't be like, I'll give them my life jacket, sacrifice. So what, you're going to let them die too? Because they're not going to take care of themselves on the boat?
No.
And then I'm like, you get to save one. Which one? The wheels start turning, and I love it.
Yeah.
It starts fights.
I love when they start justifying too. They're like, well, this one...
And then all of a sudden, like, the most random litmus, like the randomest tests or like benchmarks or rubrics for why they decided. I love it so much. Like, well, you know, she has really struggled in math. Like, what the?
We're like, wow, you are dark. We're just on a boat. You don't have to call out her intellectual abilities.
Yeah, no. She has dyslexia, Jane.
Just because he's stupid doesn't mean she shouldn't survive.
Yeah. So that's kind of my rock the boat. I just love people that are willing to kind of like rock the boat and just do something different. A little bit.
Like, rock the boat should just be like, we're just going to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to throw something crazy out there.
Oh, no, I'm not saying burn the boat down. Like, there is that
don't
delicate
sink
line.
The boat.
We're not
just rock
sinking
the boat.
it. We're not putting giant holes in the bottom of the boat and then laughing. We're just saying, give it a little shaky shake.
A little shake.
A little something, something.
Give the people what they want.
That's what I've been telling my mom for years. Okay, we got some advice we're giving to people in the news this week.
Yes.
That is the concept of our show for those of you that are new, which there very well may be some new people, because this stuff is getting shared like crazy.
Yeah.
It's getting shared like a Pinterest recipe for some pumpkin bars come October, which are delicious. You actually need to make those again with that maple buttercream frosting. Brown butter frosting. Oh, yeah.
Yum. Okay.
Yum. So we got some advice for people in the news, and our first people that we're giving advice to is Chris Evans and Alba Batista. They are now married. Captain America is married.
Normie? Is she a normie? Is she
I actually
model?
don't know who she is. I'm assuming she's a model because she's really pretty. And everybody these days are models.
Well, not
Look
everybody
at you and me.
is a model, even though they're really pretty.
Okay, so she is a 26-year-old
actress. You really missed me staring into the
actress.
camera on that one.
I missed you because I was pulling up who she was.
Not every model is... Never mind. You know what? Cut it. Bye.
Cut. Bye. Clip. Okay, Alba Batista is a 26-year-old actress who first garnered attention for her role in Netflix's Warrior Nun. Warrior Nun?
That seems pretty
I'm
like
so sorry.
lowbrow.
The concept of the show, just based on the title, we know nothing about this show. But I'm imagining a nun who takes off her nun robes and puts on
Isn't
like
a nun
Jackie Chan.
actually just a warrior for God?
If that's what it means, I will be so annoyed. If it's like, yeah, this is the true story about nuns that helped whatever.
No, I want her to throw off her nun costume and she has a Wonder Woman costume.
Yeah, I want her to have a nunchuck.
To be clear,
and
I don't think the
stars.
nun outfit is a costume. To kind of say that. I wanted her to throw it off and there's like, ninja stars underneath. So they got married this weekend. Very star-studded event. All of the Marvel cast was there. This one really, I don't really have advice for Chris Evans and his new bride, but I do have advice for the Chris Evans girlies. The girls, gays and theys.
They are not doing well.
Girls, who love Chris Evans. And my advice is move on to another fandom. There is a lot of eligible bachelors. And by eligible bachelors, I mean hot celebrities who are not married yet.
Okay, like who
but maybe
are
some
you
who
suggesting?
Are married. Well, my personal favorite is Henry Cavill. And
Stephanie adores Henry Cavill. About once a week, she sends me a
Henry Cavill TikTok.
A 100% not safe for work type of like,
Not
do
true.
not open that up before court.
My favorite is the like reloading of the guns from the Mission Impossible.
Yes.
I love that one. Henry Cavill, great. And his girlfriend is kind of a normie. So you have a chance. That's what I keep telling myself.
The delusion of the Chris Evans girls.
We have Michael B. Jordan, a fantastic
Is he? I
one.
thought he was dating Steve Harvey's daughter.
No, they broke up because he wanted to
Whoa.
get serious and she didn't because she's like 20 something.
Oh.
We have
He's a
Harry
gorgeous
Styles,
guy.
and there's so much Harry Styles content.
I get targeted with him. I don't follow him or anything, and my TikTok feed is very Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Like shows off his new abs, going to the beach and
he looks fantastic. There's so much concert footage, and you could have new music to listen to
all the time
if you decide to pick up Harry Styles as your new beau.
Yes.
And then lastly, maybe Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Okay, you showed me him before. What is he in again?
Craven. Go
it's
look
not
up.
new yet. It's not out yet.
Yeah, it's not out yet. Craven is a villain to the Spider-Man universe, I believe.
Okay.
Just do yourself a favor and go look up that movie poster because the man is fine. He's fine. He's so fine. And he is married, but is he happy?
One half of marriages end in divorce.
Yeah,
So,
you would know.
# Joe Jonas.
Because you're a divorce attorney, not because...
Also because I'm divorced. Double shots. Ooh, and I
I wish I could leave right now.
We're filming a podcast. Stay here. Here's my advice.
Yeah.
My advice to Chris Evans is to know where he ranks in all the Chris's. And that I think because I think right now he has to be feeling pretty amazing. Like
he's been
in
at the
the
top.
news. He's been at the top. He was like Lizzo was obsessed with him.
Yeah.
I think there was a huge ever since he had a particular photo leaked. He suddenly
forgot about
like
that.
I'm top dog.
It was that photo and then it was the sweater and Knives Out.
Yeah, the combination of the two. Won't say which one I've seen.
More effect. Anyway.
But I just want to let him know that he's not at the top.
Who do you think is at the top?
Of all the Chris's, I've thought about this.
Okay.
Okay,
please.
obviously the God of Thunder, Chris Hemsworth, is number one.
Agree to disagree, but
That he's
I think a lot of people
one
agree
of the
with
most
you.
beautiful humans that has ever graced my personal screens.
Okay.
Both on public and private mode. And then kidding. And then I would say Chris Pratt because I adore him. I love Star-Lord. I also think he's like goals because he was like a thick boy and then he got like yummy in like later on in life. And that's what I'm aiming for.
He's a little bit like he's gone down in the ranks in the last few years because he has, not that there's anything wrong with this, but he has very traditional like Christian values. And he's like said a lot of things in the press recently, or maybe in the last year, that has, I think it's taken down his rank among, just the universe of people.
See, because I think it goes Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, Chris Evans. I will put him third, Captain America.
Chris Pine is last.
I put Chris Pine last, but I have a really good reason. Chris Pine is famous for his role as Captain Kirk in Star Trek.
Okay.
So he's like the nerd
of
all of them.
He was the love interest in Wonder Woman, and he was so good in the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Okay, but first off, as the love interest and
he has brown hair. And I love men with browny hair.
Oh my gosh, stop it. Thank you. I just think that of all of the Chris's, he's like the least cool. And so I'm putting him last of my 4 Chris's.
I would switch Chris Pine and Chris Pratt. I think Chris
So
Pine
you're going to still say Chris Hemsworth is number 1?
I'll keep him number 1.
Okay, good. So you're going to say Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine, Chris Evans, Chris Pratt.
No, Chris Evans first. Second. Oh, no. I'm confusing
And now
us.
you're confusing me because it's early
Chris
and I don't
Hemsworth,
do math.
Chris Evans, Chris Pine, Chris Pratt.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Pratt is last for me. Although I did really like the new Guardians, so maybe that
I did too.
bumped Pratt a little bit.
I think Guardians is my favorite of the Marvel universe.
Maybe we should do a poll. Make
There's
the
like
people vote.
10,000. There's as many Marvel movies as there are Fast and the Furious movies. I swear. There's like
fully
11 Fast and the Furious movies or something. Isn't it like crazy?
There's so many Marvel movies.
That's true.
Like
There's
I didn't know that was under.
billion. There's so many.
And now there's so many shows.
That's true. But the strike is going to kill some of them or postpone or whatever.
Too bad. But
Wrap that strike up, you guys. I don't want to be stuck with garbage TV and
no, because you get the best reality TV.
I know, but
which is our personal favorite.
That is true, but I just don't want. I want good quality movies coming out.
Yeah.
I don't want to postpone everything.
Okay, but take it up with the Disney, Warner Brothers.
I called them.
Don't take it up with WGA and SAG.
No. I'm on the strike side. I'm just saying.
Come on. I have to call you a scab. And honestly, the worst of insults.
That is honestly, you're nothing more than a scab. Okay, gross.
Yeah, gross. Hate that for us. So, speaking of hot men and the advice that I gave in the last episode, Paul Walker's daughter, our next story, gave him a beautiful tribute for what would have been his 50th birthday.
Yeah, her Instagram post was so sweet.
It was gorgeous, so touching. But to make it about me, as I love to do, Paul Walker was my top celebrity crush. In fact, when he passed away,
10 years ago, by the way.
Yeah, when he passed away, I was in a relationship with somebody, and I said, that is such a bummer. I was really planning on him being my plan B. This man did not laugh. He did not think it was funny. He took it personally, and I was like, that's really funny, especially now that he's passed away. Like, obviously,
100%.
I'm delusional, but I'm flattered that you think that
was a real plan.
That was a real plan. But I have a problem because all of my celebrity crushes die.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. You are like the Black Widow.
I know.
Wait.
I started with Patrick Swayze because of Dirty Dancing, obviously.
100%. Okay.
And then Heath Ledger. I loved Heath Ledger. I was obsessed.
So you can't have any more celebrity crushes.
And then I moved on to Paul Walker after Heath Ledger died. And
who's next? Who are you killing off next?
Goodbye, Henry Cavill.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be Henry Cavill.
But it that's my biggest celebrity crush.
Someone put him in a safe place
right
now.
I know. Somebody protect Henry Cavill. That's like the main one that I've had in Chris Evans, and he just got married. So hopefully he, has a long and healthy life.
Yeah. We wish them well. We're excited for them. And you should go see Meadows' Instagram tribute to her dad. It was really, really sweet.
It was very wonderful and touching. And it's crazy that he would have been 50.
Yeah.
Because he died, I think,
10 years ago at 40.
And he did not look 40.
No.
And I was like 21 and thought I could date a 40-year-old. He was my plan B.
It's just my plan B. Stone face. Okay, we have other people. Other people made the news, and I'm obsessed with this story. These are people that I've wanted to give advice to ever since I read this. So Nsync is coming back they are reuniting for the VMA stage.
This is like alleged, I think.
Yes, I think this is just
heavily rumored. But there's a lot of evidence leading to this.
Yes, the rumor is not that they will be performing. It's just that they will be together and then presenting an award together. But it'll be the first time that they're all getting back together, which is only fanning the flame that they are going to be having a comeback.
I would
a la Backstreet Boys.
I would
and
live for an Nsync reunion.
Were you an Nsync girly or a Backstreet Boys?
So I think when I was younger, I thought I was a Backstreet Boy girly. But I think as I've aged, I've recognized that Nsync is far superior in music.
Backstreet Boys was my very first CD. Ooh. Was a Backstreet Boys CD that my mom gave me.
Mine was Usher Confessions.
Really? Oh, that is such a good album.
I'm so proud of that. There was like a completely like fold out poster of Usher in a bathtub, and I was like,
you put it in your bedroom. Okay, but I have advice for anybody that after a significant hiatus, coming back to the limelight, go slow.
Limber up.
You
can't do those dance moves
and
like you used
don't
to.
Try to be your younger self.
Yeah.
Just embrace who you are today. Like, have you seen some of the clips of like Backstreet Boys and New Kids on the Block when they're on tour? And it's real rough.
Yeah, it's rough. I can respect them still doing their old choreography.
Totally.
Because it's so outdated and it feels right.
Yeah.
But like, you got to get somebody in there to just, respect your knees. Respect your aged back.
Yeah, like if you are before a performance putting on shin guards and not shin guards, if you're putting on like a knee brace and an elbow, like for your tennis elbow, we got to do something different choreography wise. Just go slow, you guys. Whatever you do, don't push yourselves too much because it's going to show. And I don't care how in shape you are, your ticker is older, your body, your joints, everything. It's going to be hard to watch if you're trying to push through, and we're seeing you really struggle and just get super sweaty. Ooh.
Yeah. You know who's been dying for this reunion? Lance Bass.
100%.
That man is
He's the thirstiest of all the NSYNCers.
He will show up in every podcast, every TikTok. He's been on every social media platform.
He's like a guest host on a whole bunch of random like cooking shows or random stuff that his manager is working him overtime.
Yeah. He was on The Circle. No, his assistant was. But like by proxy, he was on The Circle on Netflix.
He's off to the side. Just like, what?
He literally went to the rap party.
I really am happy for him here.
He's dying to stay relevant.
And JT's going to be the one who gets to say the most, or like Joey Fatone. Like they're going to grab that mic and be the most, and then Lance Bass is just going to be like popping his head trying.
I actually think the worst thing they could do for the NSYNC revival is to put JT center stage. Have you seen like concert footage of JT recently dancing?
I've never been to a JT concert.
Like take away the music and it's like a white guy in his room by himself in front of the mirror being like like it's creaky, it looks weird. It doesn't look like he was dancing in his, early 30s. It looks like an old white guy. And so whichever of them has the best rhythm, I'm assuming JC Chavez.
Yeah, I would too.
Put him front and center.
He was the judge on a dancing show on
exactly,
MTV.
That's what I'm saying.
He's like got
rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and there's a lot
funny.
of outfits. Like if you look back at old NSYNC footage, there's a lot of potential outfits for this, tour revival. If there was to be a tour.
What was your favorite NSYNC song?
Just Got Paid.
How does that one go?
Just got paid Friday night, party hopping, feeling right.
Okay, what's the one where they go?
Booty
like cut.
Okay, stop singing.
What's the one where they are the marionettes? No strings attached, but what's the song called?
Is that? It's not bye. No. It's gonna be me.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be me.
Maybe that's the song. Yeah. Did you know my husband, for the talent show with 3 other guys, did a dance to NSYNC in high school?
No.
It's on YouTube somewhere. I'll find the link, guys. Honestly, it's pretty cute. It's pretty cute of them dancing to it. And they rehearsed.
Did you ever do a talent show?
No.
I never did a talent show either.
I had to be in like a couple assemblies. One assembly I was like, it was to compete for like a hillbilly. So this is so not kosher anymore, but there was a talent in this competition. It was basically like a hillbilly pageant. I don't know if I've ever told you this.
No.
So it was like a hillbilly pageant. I did win. Shout out to Dan Rudd, who was my hillbilly Dan. Anyway, for my talent, I did a sign language rendition of God Bless the Broken Road.
Oh,
Except it was like
not real sign.
It was like 60-40 real sign, and like the other 40% was not. But here's the way I justify it, because I am going to justify it. The sign language teacher at the school was one of the judges. So I think she just like respected me for trying.
You were playing to the judges and thought, you know what would really knock her socks off? Me doing
No,
fake
that's the
sign
worst part.
language.
I didn't know she was going to be a judge. So when I'm like, oh crap, I set up sign language interpretation dance like off of Napoleon Dynamite.
Fully.
When I decided that was going to be my talent, I didn't take into fact like that the judge was going to be the sign language teacher. It was, honestly, if there's footage out there of that, just bury it. I don't need
if there's
that.
footage, it needs to surface. Stat.
I think for like broken, we like snapped a stick over our leg. It was
So God bless the broken road.
I think,
A little swerve,
yeah,
a little through the
I think
woods.
there's a swervies. Yeah, it was not.
I don't think I
the
ever
best work.
did a talent show, but I did. This is so embarrassing. I'm gonna just match your embarrassing story.
Please.
So going into 7th grade, the summer before my 7th grade, when we matriculated into middle school,
The summer before
had
I
a
turned pretty.
fully. I had a spinal cord concussion injury from football. So I entered into school with a neck brace.
Okay.
Which was just like a real stellar look for going into 7th grade. And I was so small, and my twin sister obviously matured before me, significantly more before me. And so she looked like my stepmom, like taking me to school. Like, and I don't think my mom totally helped her, because we have this one picture, and it's one of my absolute favorite pictures of us next to each other. And I look absolutely age appropriate, a little dopey. My ears were big. I was wearing puka shells.
And she's dressed in like
She
Ann
is in
Taylor
a-
Loft.
She is. She is in White House Black Market. No, she is in a red, like a deep red turtleneck, sleeveless sweater from Polo, pearls, and a Karen haircut. I will find it and try to post it.
Please.
And so going in, it looks very different, and I'm in this neck brace. And so my parents encouraged me to run for student body president, because everybody would know who I am, vote for the kid in the neck brace.
Yeah.
So I make it. Eventually the neck brace comes off though, and then I have to do the assembly. And I'm like, well, what is my little assembly? It's like your kind of like campaign.
Yeah.
You gotta do like a little skit. And Mambo Number 5 was like a very big song. And I had taken trumpet lessons from my dad.
No.
But my dad did ask me to stop taking them because he wanted to love me still.
Did you trumpet Mambo Number 5?
So for my campaign in 7th grade, which I look back now on, and it does just cause me unbelievable embarrassment.
Yeah.
I danced around by myself to Mambo Number 5. I was wearing a suit jacket and like a fedora. And I had my trumpet, and I got so nervous that instead of playing the trumpet part,
You just used it as a prop.
just wandered around the stage with the trumpet, and I'm like do, but I'm like fake playing and giving a little shimmy.
Honestly, you were being generous to them by fake playing, I think.
So did I win?
Yes, of
I
course.
did win. But a lot of people were like, I thought you were going to play. And I just was like, I was kind of playing, you know?
No, it's just a prop. It's just a really expensive
so funny.
prop.
It's just, my poor parents are just like, you want to do what? I'm like, you guys, I have got it. I know exactly what I want to do. I'm going to dance to Mambo Number 5. Can I borrow a suit jacket, Dad? Like, I just don't understand who hurt me.
I love
and why
it.
I thought that was like the coolest thing to do. I mean, it worked, but still, it's so embarrassing. So that's my talent show.
At least we both won.
At least people
It
were
was
winners.
worth it for the embarrassment.
100%. Oh, that is such a funny story. Okay, we've got other people to give advice to.
Okay.
We have the U.S. Open. A lot of stories. I have been on Tennis Talk. I told you this last week. I actually really love Tennis Talk.
Yeah.
I sent you the video. Did you see the girl who
Oh my gosh.
serves in doubles and she hits the
Hits her
back of her own partner?
That would hurt so bad.
So
The
funny.
way that gives you like that fully arched back reaction.
Yes, and that it was just a turn. Like she gets welted and she just turns back to her partner like,
Are you kidding me?
Are you insane? Like, and I want the real story there. I want that to
Yeah.
be like in a biopic pic, in a
They're in
like,
a fight fully.
100% of just like tensions run high. You didn't get the vibe from the video. But anyways, what we do want to say is Coco Gauff is the winner. She was not seeded to win.
No.
And she just kept being so unbelievably impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So she wins the women's U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And she does a press conference. And she says, I have to read the exact quote because I just think it's so funny. Yeah, so she says two things that I just love so much. She says, in talking about the fact that Justin and Hailey Bieber were cheering her on, she told ESPN, I definitely saw who was there. I thought, I can't lose in front of Justin Bieber.
Which is so relatable.
Which is so, I've never had a more relatable, like felt relatable to a tennis pro than them. But after she wins, she does a press conference. And then she was asked about her post-plan wins. And she said, the only thing on my mind is heading home and climbing into bed for some sleep.
Relatable. I love a relatable queen. The fact that she just was like, I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah.
I'm tired. This was exhausting.
Yeah. She's like,
Instead,
did you
I'm
watch
gonna go
what
to
just
Disney
happened?
World.
100%. Like
I'm
you
gonna
have
take
the
a nap.
option to be like, I just want to go and celebrate with my friends and family. I want to go and whatever. Like you could have done anything and then cut to what she does say. And she's like, I just want to go home and crawl into bed.
But she said it so
Like,
endearing.
Yes,
She
it was
like,
so like real.
I'm going to go home and sleep.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it.
It was
so
amazing.
here's my advice to athletes. Mm-hmm. I no longer want you to just say you're like Disneyland or whatever else. I want the new standard for you to be like the most honest.
Yes.
Like I don't care what it is. I want it to be
Without
honest.
expletives,
If he's just like,
please.
I want to go, whatever, no expletives.
Yeah.
But I don't care if it's expletive content.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, I don't know, I haven't been allowed to eat a cheeseburger in 3 flipping weeks, so I'm going to McDonald's.
take the entire D line to Applebee's. That's what I
gotta
need to
pay
hear.
a bookie, and I got to use some of this money for my student loans.
That
Like
is
I want real. I want you guys to be. If you are an athlete and you're ever doing a press conference, follow in the footsteps of Coco and just be like absolutely unabashedly, unapologetically honest.
Yeah.
I would listen to those press conferences because I'm not a huge press conference listener. I'm not like, oh, I got to get in. I'm just not huge into sports, so maybe that's part of it. I would watch if it was like LeBron James just being like, I actually got to go help my dumb kid with his science experiment and I got to pay the nanny. Like, I just want real cut to what are you really doing in the 12 hours that
I'm going to
follow.
give my nanny a raise for watching my kids during this.
I got in a fight
series.
with my wife, so I owe her some diamond studs that this prize money is going to help pay for. Thanks, guys. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah, that or I'm going to go take a nap. This was exhausting.
Whatever it
Did you
was.
see how much work I was putting in? I'm tired.
Okay, speaking of kind of being a little combative, though, because the answer is not combative, but in the note of a press conference, I did also see on Tennis Talk a girl, a woman, I forget, dang it, I wish I knew who she was, but someone had asked her a question and she called them out and said, was it you who posted on Twitter that I left the match crying? Because I wasn't crying. Was it you? I mean, you're with tennis, whatever. It's your Instagram. It was your Twitter account that posted it. But was it you that did that?
I would barf.
And the person's like, no, it wasn't. She's like, okay, well, whoever it was on your team, just correct that story because I wasn't going off the court crying. I was surprised to read that. The goop of everybody in the room that's just like, ooh.
If I was that photographer, I would have been running to the bathroom. It would have been a Delta flight. I would have crapped. I would have felt like so.
Yes.
No, it wasn't me.
The other thing the last thing we have to say about the U.S. Open, the other video that I sent you, that speaking of just like, I would absolutely barf out of embarrassment. Player's going to serve, so she's doing the little bounce, breeze. And then she goes to serve, and the ref says something, and it then cuts to a man had gotten up to walk out during the middle of a serve, which is not allowed. You are not allowed during any sort of game time to be moving. He got called out. He didn't know what to do, so he freezes because he's now just standing, and the man next to him has to slowly guide him to help him just sit down exactly where he is on the stairs going out of the venue. The idea of everybody stopping.
That man also would have put the Jell-O in his pocket.
The man was just like, Jell-O pocket.
I'm frozen.
The idea of just like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. Like, and I'm not really familiar with all of the rules. So it easily could have been me. I could have easily just been like, I'm going to go get a corn dog.
I got to go.
And then I hop up, and then everyone stops.
Sir,
and then
sit down. Sit down,
they say
sir.
sit down. They were saying that.
Sit down. And you're
and then I'm on the camera. I'm on the
Jumbotron. Doing the robot. You start doing the
I'm just waving to mom. I'm like, Steph, come up here. And she's just like shielding herself. I don't know this clown. So I'm sad that the U.S. Open is over because it was really, really good content for a while. We had like the marijuana smells. We had the
Now we're going to have to talk
drama.
about other sports, probably football.
That's all right. I played football. My mom was the former vice president of the Utah Football Association.
Really?
Yeah. She's a huge athlete. Like she played college basketball and she loves football. So does my dad. When we were in Vegas on Sunday, I'd said like, oh, hey, what do you want to do for today before we fly out? And they were like, it's football Sunday. We'll just stay and watch a bunch of games. And so they were watching just a ton of games.
Wow.
So we can talk football. We'll get some pointers and there's always drama with them.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, our last people to give advice to in the news. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this story. This is like one of the best things I've ever read. Associated Press. The headline says, China authorities arrest 2 for smashing shortcut through the Great Wall with an excavator. And this is just the story. I get it. Like this man and women were trying to create a shortcut to go to do work on houses that are on the other side of the wall. I totally get it. Just the concept, though, of how these 2 people decided to do it. And I am absolutely convinced there was a double dog dare involved.
And 2 idiots.
Like 2 dum-dums.
Us 2 standing there. And you'd be like, well, we could go that way. And it's like, miles that way. Or we could go
thoroughly convinced that they were drunk. Either that or just like so dumb.
I hope that they were drunk.
They could just like, hey, you know what you could do? You know what you could do? We could just like go through the wall. And be like, no, like, yeah, they wouldn't even notice. It's a big wall. And so they get arrested. And then just imagine being in the excavator, being directly in front of the Great Wall. Yeah. And being like, I think I could take it. I think this thing could bulldoze. And then I don't know if both of them were in the excavator. Part of me wishes it wasn't. Part of me wishes one person just went to the bathroom. And then came back and he's like, I never said to actually do it, you idiot. Because it's a 55-year-old woman and like a 38-year-old man. Yeah. And so I imagine the 38-year-old man was driving. The 55-year-old woman just thought it'd be funny. And then she was like, anyways, I'm going to go get some drink or whatever. And then comes back and he's just like through the wall and just that face of like, we're in trouble. This is bad.
That's a big hole. I think they're going to notice.
Here's our advice to people who are, first off, construction workers. Stop taking shortcuts. Okay? That's a general thing. If you're a builder or something, don't take shortcuts. Yeah. And if you're going to take a shortcut, it cannot be through the Great Wall of China.
No, it cannot be through one of the 7 wonders of the world.
It's such a low bar.
You have to go around.
It's such a low bar, and it's just so funny to me that the article had talked about how the wall had only been pierced before by Genghis Khan, like one of the warlords, like one of the biggest figures in Asian history, and it's like cut to like the side by side.
can just see
Of just
like the excavator even just like jolting, and they're like, and then it just takes off into the wall.
And then just being like, we're going down in history. Like, as an idiot face. I don't know. The article did say that the only other time that the wall was ever fully pierced was by Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
So it is such a funny like way to get
the juxtaposition.
Yeah, a way to get your story in the history books.
Yeah.
It's just so funny to me.
So funny.
So our advice to construction workers, don't take shortcuts.
And our advice for two friends who are thinking about doing something stupid together.
Film it.
Because
I want, there's no footage, not that I've seen.
And if it's that stupid, if you're going to disrespect a seven wonder of the world, maybe call somebody else first.
Yeah, literally.
You'd be like, we're being really dumb right now,
friends.
and I need you to tell us if this is a bad idea.
Yeah, the only thing that you should be doing with your friends are
sitting
not.
Those are the dumb things you should muse about.
Those are the things that you guys need to be like, that's the limit. Embarrassing a 9-year-old stepdaughter in the back seat, that's fine. Embarrassing your entire family, neighbors, and community. Generations, and to go down as the person who broke the Great Wall, not so much.
That's a hard pass for me.
It's a hard pass for both of us.
Yeah, thank goodness we're not that dumb of friends. We just want to throw a talent show in the living room.
Me with Mambo number 5 and
if
you signing it.
A live show, we'll do the rendition of...
If we ever do a live show, we're walking out to Mambo number 5 and I'm bringing a trumpet. Like, I'm coming out and I'm doing the whole thing.
Fake trumpet.
And I get an oversized trench coat or an oversized sport coat and a fedora. And they're like, what the? Like, this is from episode 3.
I'll dress up episode 3 from the beginners. I'll dress up as Stephen King, because did you see... He was so obsessed.
What?
You didn't hear this story?
No.
Bonus story today. Stephen King was so obsessed with Mambo number 5 when it came out. His wife threatened to divorce him.
No.
Which,
literally,
rational. That makes sense?
Yeah, same.
So you and
Same
Stephen
wife.
King were Mambo
I'm the
number
Stephen
5
King
together.
of 7th grade.
Yeah. Honestly, with less drugs.
It's just so funny to me to think that people publicly, somehow this story came out and they thought, you know what we should share? Why my wife almost left me. And then someone in his camp said, no, tell the story. And it's like, because he loved Mambo number 5. And they're like, no, tell the real story. No, that's it.
No, that's
He was
it.
just listening to it nonstop. And she's like, I will divorce you faster than you can finish that sentence. Before you can finish that verse.
Faster
I
than
will be out
Cujo
of
got
here.
in that car. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Cujo.
Well, anything else you want to say for our lovely guests?
No, again, thank you for all of your support.
Yes.
We really appreciate every single person that's reposted something, liked a reel, commented something funny.
Yeah, comment. We want to know who your favorite Chris Hemsworth is. This is what we should do at the end of episodes. We should do like you got to the end of the episode, tell us your favorite blank.
Yeah.
And that'll be like our prompt. And then we pick a winner. We give
then
them
we'll
$1,000.
Oh, I don't know about the
Okay, well,
$1,000.
we got it. We'll figure out the
give them
details.
$4.
$1 from each of us. Okay, so but tell us of the 4 Chris's. Going
First
back to the
and
beginning.
last.
Who's your number one? Yeah, either first and last, or you can rank them all, or just who your number one. Which of the Chris's is your number one?
So I can know what your type is.
So you can follow us on all social media platforms. Good Bad Advice Podcast. We're on the TikToks now.
We're on YouTube.
We're on the YouTubes. We're on the Instagrams.
The
we're on
YouTube
the
is Good Bad Podcast.
Yes.
You wanna
And
look it
then, which you can watch the episodes there, or you can stream them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Google Podcasts, anywhere
Google
where you
is
get.
coming, I believe.
Yeah, I got that notification that it's finishing.
Oh, perfect.
Up. So anywhere you get podcasts, we'll be there. Follow us along. We love you guys. Have a really good week. Find opportunities to just like brighten your world
And give
wherever
people
you are.
bad advice.
And give some people some good or bad advice.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.